Hey everyone, it's Kaylin. You have reached day 4 of my 5-day Intro to Pilates series. Hope you've enjoyed the first 3 days. We are going to be focusing on the lower body today and the glutes. So we are going to be finding lots of length and strength in the lower body. So we are going to get started first in a standing position. So in standing here, I want you to find proper alignment with your legs and your hips and your feet. So you're gonna be in a parallel stance with your legs right under your hips. Normally people feel that their hips are a lot wider than they actually are, but they're really about a fist distance or so apart. It's kind of right under the hip bones here. It's not way out here, it's here. So you're gonna have your toes and your knees and your hips all facing forward here, all right? So that's that proper alignment. And you're gonna find that nice tall spine, that lifting and lengthening up, and then the shoulders here down your back. Once you have that, we're gonna start into our knee bends and then moving those into our squats. So as you start to sink back into your heels, you're gonna stick your bottom out behind you. Imagine that you're sitting in a chair as you come down. Maybe you only start to here, that's fine. And then go ahead and come back up. So we're gonna inhale as you come back and exhale to lift. So if you look down just for a moment, make sure your knees are tracking over your toes or forward in the direction of your toes, and that you can still see your toes. So you don't want your knees to be far forward here. You want to be able to see your toes, so you're gonna have to shift your glutes and your knees back in order to make that happen, okay? And then lift back up. So again, inhale as you sink back, exhale to lift. Inhale back, exhale, lift. So nice proud chest and heart here. So try to stay gazing somewhere straight ahead. Let's do 4 more. 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last one, stay down in that squat. Small pulses here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bring it all the way back up. All right, shake it out just a little bit. We're gonna do a wide squat now. So your feet are gonna be much wider. Your hips, your knees, and your toes are now facing out in this external rotation. And once you're there, you're gonna, again, draw your shoulders down, pull up through your center, through your core. And now you're gonna bend your knees, tracking your knees out in the direction of your toes. And then you're gonna lift back up. Good. So your stance may not be so wide or turned out, and that's perfectly fine. Everybody's range, their hip range, their mobility is very different. So I just want you to make sure that you're getting that alignment right over the toes and that the knees aren't spilling into the center. Good. So we're inhaling to bend, exhale, lift. Good, bend and lift. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here, small pulses, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bring it all the way back up. All right, shake that out here again. Maybe pedal the knees a little bit. Shake out the hips and the knees. And then you're gonna meet me down onto the floor. So once you're here on the floor, you're gonna come to lay down all the way onto your back. So coming all the way down. Your feet here are gonna stay on the mat. Arms are gonna come down by your sides. We're setting ourselves up for some bridging here. So you wanna have your heels closer to your body, and you're in that long neutral spine that we talked about on day 1. So once you're there, I just want you to take a deep inhale. And I want you to exhale. You're gonna start to roll through that spine as you lift up into that bridge. Okay, now while you're here, I want you to feel that you're trying to pull your heels towards your bottom, towards your glutes. It's gonna activate those hamstrings and glutes even more. Good, once you've got that, take an inhale. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale to lift. Good, again, imagine that you're pulling your heels towards your bottom. Inhale here, exhale, lower. Good, on that next one, I want you to stay lifted at the top. So you're gonna roll back up into bridge. Make sure your knees are pointing straight ahead in parallel. And we're gonna find some little pulses here. So you're gonna lift. So you're just gonna lower and lift just a few inches. Really engaging those glutes here. Good, driving through your heels into the floor. And let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here. Come onto the balls of your feet as you lift your heels. Keep your hips lifted, then lower your heels. Lift the heels and lower. Good, lift and lower. So now you feel a little bit more of this in the calves as well as those glutes and hamstrings. Lots of work going on here in that lower body, but we're still finding that stability here in our center, in our core. Let's do 4, 3, 2, last one. Lower the heels down, roll down through your spine. Release the pelvis, inhale. Exhale, roll back through your spine as you lift up. All right, lifting that right leg into tabletop, keeping your pelvis in neutral. Hold it in the tabletop position or extend the leg up towards the ceiling. And then you're gonna do those little pulses here with that single leg. And whew, I feel that burn on that left side. Yeah, let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place that foot down. Even off your hips. Bring your hips down if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to switch right to the other side. So either tabletop leg, or for more of a challenge, lengthen that leg up. And we do those little lifts. Gosh, feeling that right side here. Yeah, driving through that heel, that glute to drive up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that left leg down to the floor, even your hips off. And then lower through your spine to come all the way down. All right, bring the knees into your chest just for a moment and to stretch out that lower back. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. Now you are gonna rock up to a seated position. You're gonna flip over into all fours. So we've done this in the first and the second day. So we're back here again. And you're gonna have your shoulders here over your wrists, your knees are under your hips. And we're gonna stay stable in the upper body. So we're not gonna move that upper body, just the lower body. I want you to send your left leg back behind you. Good, and then turn that left hip towards the floor, keeping your neck nice and long, shoulders down your back. Now you're gonna start to pulse that leg up towards the ceiling here. So just little pulses. Making sure not to pulse with your spine, but pulse with your glute and your hamstring. Yeah, let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bend that knee, and you do that same thing with that bent knee. Imagine you're driving that toe up through the ceiling here. Good, you should be really feeling this, especially after that bridging. Good, let's do 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower that one down. All right, we're gonna switch to your other side. So this time, right leg will reach back. Finding that length here. Right hip bone comes down to face towards the floor. And we pulse that leg up. Good, so this is where, again, that stability, that core strength and stability, that support that we worked on really comes into play, so you're not arching the spine to do this work. You're isolating that to your leg. Good, let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, toes pointing towards the ceiling, and we do that again, tiny little pulses. Okay, make sure you're still pressing your upper body away from the floor so you're not sinking down into the shoulders. do 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower it all the way down. Beautiful job. All right, we're gonna move on to some side lying leg work. So let's start first on our left side. And you're gonna bring your elbow all the way down onto the mat. And the whole part of your body from your elbow down to your pelvis is along the back edge of your mat. We're gonna help you find that neutral spine position. I want you to bend your bottom knee here for support. So it's gonna bend, and now your hips are facing straight ahead. So we don't want this top hip to be rolling back. We're gonna be facing straight ahead, same with your shoulders. This top arm comes here for support. Now pull that belly in and up away from the legs. It's gonna help find that stability here in the upper body. And then reach that top leg away. All right, so you feel almost like a lift underneath your side body here so that you're not dumping into the ground. All right, and we're gonna start to lift and lower that top leg. So the knee and the hip and the toes are still facing forward here. And that top leg is a slight diagonal towards the front corner of your mat. Good, so just a tap, lift. Good, tap and lift. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, and lower that leg down. Now bringing that top leg up to hip height here, still in that parallel position, we're gonna do tiny little circles with the leg. So while you're doing these exercises, you're really reaching that top leg away as you're really lengthening and engaging that whole leg here. So there's lots of contraction, lots of muscle work happening in that leg. And you're really feeling your glute here, I'm sure. Okay, now hold here, reverse. So tiny little circles, because we don't want that pelvis and that torso rocking and rolling around, but staying nice and steady. Good, let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Now, you're gonna keep that leg at hip height, flex through the ankle, and we're gonna kick that leg forward, point the toe as we pull it maybe just in line with the rest of our body, maybe a little bit farther back. As long as we're not tipping the upper body forward, stay still here. And flex through the ankle, and then point and bring it back. So as you can see here, we're getting this movement by finding that stability here in the upper body. So just that leg is moving in the hip socket, not the whole spine flexing and bending. Good, and that's where that core support and strength comes in. You can see how it all comes together. Good, last 2. Good, last 1. Beautiful. All right, last exercise here. I want you to straighten your bottom leg as well. Now you're gonna keep your top leg lifted. Hold it here. Reach through your bottom leg. You're gonna lift and lower that bottom leg to meet it. Good. We're gonna do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, lower those legs down. We're gonna do everything on the other side. So you can go ahead and either flip right over on your mat, or you'll sit up, swing your legs over, and then set yourself up on your right side. So here again, setting up your back edge of your body along that back line of your mat. Bend that bottom leg. Shoulders and hips are squared off. And then we'll reach that top leg nice and long, keeping the toe, the knee, and the hip pointing forward. And we'll lift and lower that leg. So lots happening in the outer hip and glute here. So that's what a lot of these side lying exercises are working, is that outer hip and glute. So there's some more of these side lying leg work that you can do as well. We just started out with just a few here for this one. Good, let's do 2 and 1. All right, bringing that leg up to hip height. We're gonna find those small circles as you find that stability here in your torso. Good. Don't forget about that breath. Always inhaling and exhaling, never holding the breath here. Okay, let's do 3, 2, 1, and then we reverse. Good, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bring that leg down for just a second. All right, we're gonna set ourselves back up in parallel, flex through that top ankle, and we're gonna kick it forward, point the toe as we pull and reach it back. Good, kick forward and bring it back. So this one's really nice because you get that hamstring stretch. At the same time, you're getting that glute activation when you bring it back. So you get a little bit of both there. Good. And then when you pull that leg back, you're also getting the opening of the hip flexor in the quad as well. Good, let's do one more here. And bring it back. Good, now reach both legs nice and long. Good, make sure you're feeling strong here in your center. Lift that top leg, doesn't have to come very high. Then we're gonna lift and lower that bottom leg here. Some more of that inner thigh here of that bottom leg. Good. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, lowering that all the way down. All right, we are gonna finish up on our bellies. So you're just gonna roll right onto your front, setting yourself up in a prone position here. So we did some work here where we lifted the upper body up, but for this one, we're gonna keep the upper body on the mat. Keep your forehead onto your hands here. Your shoulders are pulling down your spine. So here, I want you to lift the belly button up and off the floor, just like you did in the other exercises we've done. And with that, I really want you to lengthen your legs out of your hip sockets. They're maybe a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Keeping that all together, I want you to start to lift and lower the legs. So you're gonna lift the legs up, feeling the glutes and the hamstrings, and then lower. Lift and lower. Good, so belly button is staying, pulling in, lengthening that lower back as much as possible. Beautiful. This one always feels really nice to me. I like that lifting and lengthening out of the hips. Really feel nice and strong here in the lower body after all that work. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift and hold. Last one here. You're going to tap the heels together and open. Tap and open. So just a little quick tap here as the legs are lifted. Feeling more of the inner thighs. The toes are reaching out to the sides, that external rotation. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower it all the way down. All right, pressing into your hands. Lift up here onto all fours and just find a little cat stretch here. Maybe shake your hips side to side to stretch out that lower back. And I want you to take some time now, if you need to stretch out your legs, stretch out that hamstrings, glutes, and hips. Hope you enjoyed day 4 today, lower body. I hope you'll join me for day 5 for the full body flow. If you liked what you saw, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Hope to see you soon. Bye.